In today's video, I'm going to be checking out another one of Akko's newer Switch releases, their Dracula Linears. Before we begin, I want to let you know that this video was sponsored by Akko, who provided the Dracula Switches free of charge for the purpose of this review. However, rest assured, all opinions you hear today are completely my own and unbiased. Let's kick things off with the unboxing. If you've handled Akko Switches before, this experience is going to feel pretty familiar. The outer sleeve is very much on theme with the typical minimal design language on the front and the force travel diagram and specs on the back. Sliding the sleeve off, the inner box is nice and minimal once again with the switches inside arranged in a grid of 45. Okay, I'm going to start off by discussing pricing. These Dracula switches are available for $14.99 on Akko's US website. I'll have alternative links in the description to where you can find these switches if you're not based in the US. They're available for purchase in batches of 45 where you can opt for 45 or 90. Breaking it down, this means that each switch comes in at about 33 cents, which is higher than just about all of their other popular switches, though still budget in the grand scheme of things. Akko's batching system means you have to buy 90 switches, even if you're only building something like a 60 or 65% keyboard. It'd be great to see smaller batch options just to cater to those kind of builds. Let's take a look at the material breakdown on these new switches. Okay, so the Dracula's introduced a new material for Akko, POK. Let me tell you about it in Akko's words. So POK, or polyketone, is supposedly a much stronger plastic material, meaning greater impact as well as water resistance compared to other materials like POM. Overall just meaning these switches should be able to stand the test of time. On top of this, Akko claim POK is a more sustainable plastic to utilize, so you might be wondering where the trade-off is. Well, Akko claim POK is susceptible to discoloration over time, and that's why they actually went for the black and red color scheme. Personally, this seems like a worthy trade-off for me, for a component that you're not actually going to even see once you're using your keyboard. Both the top housing and the stem are made from this POK, whilst the bottom housing is made from a PA nylon. Let me go back to the stem for a second though. It's got a hole in the bottom to allow pressurized air to escape, resulting in a smoother typing experience. But I'll be the judge of that. These Draculas feature a total travel of 3.8mm, with the standard actuation being at around 2mm. They require an operating force of just 35 grams, so they're way down on the light end of the scale. Okay, I'm going to roll a series of sound tests of these switches in different keyboard configurations, hopefully to cover something close to what you're going to have. Okay, after thoroughly testing these new switches from Akko, I can say I'm a big fan of how they both sound and feel. In terms of feel, they're one of the lightest switches I own, and as a fan of light switches, I just couldn't stop wanting to type on them. No fatigue or anything like that over time. They're super light, and the little stem hole seems to have done its job because they're one of the smoother switches I've tried as well. It's kind of tough to prescribe them with an exact sound signature, but what I can tell you is that they're definitely poppy. Overall, the Draculas get a thumbs up from me, and if you've been considering them, I recommend you go ahead and pull the trigger. That concludes this quick little review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider dropping a like and subscribing because your support is greatly appreciated, and it's free. Another huge thanks to the people over at Akko for making this video possible.